So I'm going to make a short video here about some interesting news that I just found out about the Cosmos-2 from Microsoft. It's from their research, grounding multimodal large language models to the world. So what is it? What does it do? So I pulled up a couple of different tabs here in my web browser to show some working examples of it and to try it out real quick like, and I may do a more in-depth video when I have more time. However, I think it's important what it says right here at the top page of their website about this Cosmos-2. This work lays out the foundation for the development of Embodiment AI and sheds light on the big convergence of language, multimodal perception, action, and world modeling, which is a key step towards AGI, or artificial general intelligence. So it seems like this is a big advancement in the direction of the artificial intelligence. And so what is Embodiment AI? If we type that into Google, we can see here it enables training of embodied AI agents like virtual robots and egocentric assistants in a realistic 3D simulator before transferring. Well, we can read that later. The goal of embodied artificial intelligence is to create agents such as robots which learn to creatively solve challenging tasks requiring interaction like in the real world. So here is a Embodied AI Workshop website, and you can see some of the company names listed here: Google, Meta, Intel, Nvidia. A lot of big companies, Adobe, Apple, and others are involved in this. Let's go ahead and increase the font size here. Minds live in bodies, and bodies move through a changing world. The goal of embodied artificial intelligence is to create agents such as robots which learn to creatively solve challenging tasks requiring interaction with the environment. While this is a tall order, fantastic advances in deep learning and the increasing availability of large data sets like ImageNet have enabled superhuman performance on a variety of AI tasks previously thought intractable. Computer vision, speech recognition, natural language processing have experienced transformative revolutions at passive input-output tasks like language translation and image processing, and reinforcement learning has similarly achieved world-class performance at interactive tasks like games. These advances have supercharged embodied AI, enabling a growing collection of researchers to make rapid progress towards intelligent agents which can see, perceive their environment through vision or other senses, talk, hold a natural language dialogue grounded in their environment, listen, understand and react to audio input anywhere in a scene, act, navigate and interact with their environment to accomplish goals, reason, consider and plan for the long-term consequences of their actions. That sounds very interesting. So that's what embodied AI is, and we will take a look at that later on in another video. So let's go back to the Microsoft page. I will include a link to this web page, and this is the working application, which the URL is there. I will also include a link to it, and I will be experimenting with it here in just a minute. There's also the paper itself that they published. It's 20 pages long, and it explains in detail what is going on with it and how it works, and how it is basically looking at these images and drawing boxes called bounding boxes around images as it recognizes and uses its intelligence to figure out what is in these images. So I will include that link. And here is a GitHub page for Cosmos-2, and on this page there are a couple links here to check out the paper and also the online demo, which I will be looking at for just a minute. And this is another link that I'll include that had a link to the PDF file also. So then I thought, well, let's try this out. I typed in people walking dogs in downtown Chicago, and I just picked an image from there and I saved it. And then in here you can see the image that I uploaded. Now it didn't know that it was in Chicago. I just called the image was called like dogs or something, so it had no idea that it was in Chicago. And so you can see here on the right side, after I added the image, I dragged and dropped it there, and then I clicked submit. Here it shows a bridge, a woman, their dogs, other dogs, and it has these bounding boxes, so it's like it can see and recognize and interpret and tell us what it sees. And then you can see here it gives the description. Describe this image in detail. A man and woman are walking their dogs along a bridge in Chicago. And so here is the description type: brief or detailed. Well, then they have some test images. Let's go ahead and try one of those. So there's a couple dogs, and I'll just leave the parameters as they are and click submit, and it will process it. And so here we can see the bounding boxes. Describe this image in detail. Two adorable golden retriever puppies sit side by side in a field of grass and colorful fall leaves. They're both looking at the camera with their tongues hanging out. And so it shows their tongues, it shows grass, a bounding box around the leaves, and each of the dogs. Now let's see what it does with this picture of a snowman. Of course, a animated computer graphic. And what does it tell us? It's an image of a snowman warming himself by a fire. And let's do another one here. That looks to be like jet fighters, and the description type is brief. It seems to be taking a second here. While I let it run for a little bit, it's still running. I refreshed the page, it's still running. So I think the site is just getting really busy, I would imagine, as more people want to try this out. But you did see the general operation of it and how it can take images and interpret them and tell us a lot of information and even draw boxes around it because it knows what's in them. So that's very interesting. Well, that's going to be it for this video. Again, just wanted to point out some new technology you might be interested in taking a look at, and I will include the links for these resources in the description. And thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you soon. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new content.